Welcome everyone to another episode of our new series 10 Things to Love or Hate, except this time it's more than 10 things, alright? It's not always gonna be 10 things, but it'll be okay. Lists come in numbers other than 10, I promise. Look, let's just talk about today's topic, and this one's a doozy. Recently I've been covering the Zelda franchise on the channel, and I've been covering Souls for over a year now. Hyper Light Drifter is an open world adventure game with some melee and ranged combat. Not enough to draw the similarities right away. We'll get there. Let's start with something I love and probably the first thing you notice, the art direction. Hyper Light Drifter's unique art style is astounding. To this point, I had never had a proper introduction into modern pixel art, but this game's take on it would rival Pablo Picasso. Listen, I don't know high-class art, but I know video game art, and you're seeing it in action. What stands out to me is how vibrant the colors in the game pop. Right out of the gate, you get this unbelievable cutscene to draw you into this style. Look at this for a moment. It's not often that a staring contest moves me, but I don't think you can feel anything other than sheer awe looking at this spectacle. I will admit that the pixelated style took me a little getting used to, though. I was coming hot off my love affair with Dead Cells, and while that game has a pixely style, it's got much more detail. This game felt too simplistic as a result, but over time I grew to appreciate it for its unique appearance as something special. The art style is matched marvelously with my number 2 love, the soundtrack. Even if I hated every single thing about this game other than its art and sound, I would still be bumping this soundtrack for the rest of my life. It's unlike anything I've ever heard before. It's got synthetic techno tones with a dreary, haunting atmosphere. At times it dips into the inspirational, and other times it can be pure terror. Part of what's so masterful about the soundtrack is how it carries the experience. In sweeping moments of grandeur, the music will swell up with a loud note to cement its impact, and then there's the underlying sounds that play to create an unnerving pressure as you explore the world that's crumbling around you. Exploring that world is an absolute joy as well because there's a lot of variety in its locales. Once you pass the intro, you're dropped in the center of a lively town with 4 ruins to explore in any order you like, with the exception of the south. Having the freedom to go to 3 different areas from the start is excellent for those who prefer their experiences to be less linear, and it can be super helpful in this game because you can obtain upgrade materials from harder regions without necessarily progressing through them in a meaningful way. That'll give you an easier time overall when making your way through your first area. As you explore the world, the story begins to unfold in an indirect way that I love. This is the first similarity I can draw between this game and the Souls series. When I think of stories in gaming, there's 2 big categories that typically draw me. First is a deliberate narrative that is presented to the player in an upfront manner, making it impossible to miss unless you're not paying attention. It uses cutscenes, character dialogues and interactions, and objective missions to guide the player through the narrative in an easily digestible way. Second is a more ambiguous presentation that gives the player the same amount of story content to absorb, but delivers it in a more vague manner. This is done by leaving hints in world design, obscure NPC interactions, and cutscenes with minimal explanation behind them. What you prefer boils down to preference. Personally, I like both styles as long as they're done well, and I could even say it's done best when you have a nice mixture of the two. Hyper Light Drifter undoubtedly falls into the latter of the 2 storytelling styles with its lack of dialogue and emphasis on use of world design, minimal cutscenes, and emotional score to tell its tale. As a matter of fact, the game doesn't even have a concrete story. The lead developer from the game, Alex Preston, suffered from a debilitating heart disease from a young age. He used Hyper Light Drifter as a medium to express the trials of undergoing such a stifling issue throughout his life. In using the visuals and sound to express the real emotions the developers felt, it gives the player a bond with not only the game, but the perspective of a man that has suffered as the protagonist does as well. I could go into speculation on the story for the game, but I'm not the best theory crafter out there. I think it's best experience yourself, allowing you to draw your own conclusions and seeing what bonds you with it personally. And if you're into cryptic storytelling, you're in for a treat if you share the same passion for mysterious worlds full of secrets. Early on in the game, you'll come to realize when you see this tiny symbol, it nearly always indicates a mystery to be uncovered. This could be as obvious as dashing to another platform nearby, or as complex as traversing your way halfway through a section to open a gate and then backtrack back. The Zelda inspiration here is abundantly clear. It reminds me of having to do things like burning a bush to find a required item, but at least here it's almost always optional and has a clear hint to show you something's afoot. While I think the attention to detail required to cover the secrets is fair and appreciate the rewarding feeling you get when you find a secret upgrade or item, there's one big problem that I do have with it. The game is so filled to the brim with secrets that it can actually hamper a playthrough if you don't have the patience to find them. We haven't talked about the combat yet, and we will get there, but I want to talk about the progression system first. Going back to the Souls comparison, in those games you level your character by trading the souls of fallen enemies. In Hyper Light Drifter, you instead collect gear bits. There are cases where these will be naturally dropped from enemies, and you also get 3 bits from any boss defeated, but the bulk of these are found through secrets. So if you aren't great at finding secrets, secrets or lack the patience necessary to explore the world thoroughly, you're more likely than a player who unlocks everything to find the combat system lacking because you won't get some of the upgrades. Not only the upgrades themselves, but you'll also miss a ton of health packs. Now, personally, I think the way they did the healing system in the game complements its emphasis on full exploration, so I'll put it in my love category, but I have to admit at times it can be frustrating. The way it works is you get a certain amount of full heals based on the amount of health packs you find in the world. Every time you find one, it restores one of your heals, which can be done at any time with the press of a key. If you're finding all the secrets and taking your time, you'll find so many damn health packs you'll never run out of healing, but if you don't do a thorough search, you won't be able to heal as often, which can make the nature of the combat system frustrating. Not to mention that you get 2 extra heals through upgrades, which is even more frustrating because if you're having trouble finding the gear bits, you have to choose between additional healing stores or combat maneuvers that make the engagements easier. This means if you're not searching for the secrets, you are really going to hamper your experience in this game. The final thing that can get you through the game's mysteries are armor unlocks, which are awesome. They give so many different potential upgrades to your character, such as double stamina, extra health, faster movement speed, the list goes on and on. Not only do you get such upgrades, but you get 3 different equip slots and you only have to wear 1 piece of each set to get its benefits, meaning you could have all 3 of the aforementioned buffs. 3 problems here. First, beating the dead horse. If you don't fully explore, you'll likely only find 1 or 2 sets across the playthrough, as most are locked behind key doors that are found with keys that are found in the secret areas. If it isn't already clear, you will really gimp yourself by not giving into the need to dive into the game's mysteries. If you go into this game wanting to focus more on the combat and story and ignore the rest, I can almost guarantee you'll reach a breaking point of frustration, because while the upgrades in armor and health pack are mandatory, they make the entire experience so much better. Putting that aside, there's 2 main problems that I hate. Armor buffs are never explained in game, and you aren't told that you get full benefits from single armor pieces. No joke, this game tells you absolutely nothing about the armor. You find it or told you can equip it, and that's it. In this day and age where skins are common practice in games, I thought that's all this was. A simple color change for aesthetic purposes. I understand a desire to keep dialogue out of the game and everything, but they have no problem early in the game giving you direction on how to heal, how to dash, how to shoot. So why the fuck is it so much to ask for you to give 1 sentence saying armor gives fill in the blank upgrade? You can equip up to 3 pieces for a mix and match of benefits. I'm not even sure how the community figured out these things give benefits. Either somebody noticed the extra stamina, health, or what have you, then arduously tested each piece of gear in the game for different benefits until they figured it all out, or the developer outright told everyone after the game's release, which adds more fuel to why not just put a tooltip in the game in the first place problem. The only justification I can see for this is the community factor. It's fun for a game's fans to come together and figure out the secrets of a game, especially one that has so many secrets in the first place. To me though, this game's got enough of those already, and this specific feature is too integral to having a better time as the drifter. Since I've already got my anger flowing and it's related to armor, let's talk about my biggest annoyance throughout my entire time with Hyperlight Drifter. I mentioned you unlock armor in various ways, finding secret keys, completing challenges, and let's give the Demon Souls video a listen really quick. But rather than being tied to tedious farming that is laughably easy, this stone and other rare items should be tied to immense challenges. Dashing 800 times in a row without pause is not what I had in mind. One of the unlocks via gear bits in the game is chain dashing. If done so correctly, this upgrade is stupidly useful because you can dash forever, or as long as you can combo it. To chain dash, you have to hit the button right at the end of your first dash. From there on out, you have to tap it rhythmically or you'll lose your chain. That might not sound so bad, but what if I told you the window of opportunity to hit the key to continue your dash is about as long as your chance to safely stick your dick in a box fan? The thought of that make you recoil in fear? Well, you better be afraid, because imagine someone told you that to unlock an item that would make your experience in life exponentially better, you had the option to hump a box fan 800 times consecutively without getting castrated. That's the 800 dash challenge, baby. To accomplish this, I had to shut off all the game sounds, map dash to my spacebar, and tap it without fail to the timing of a metronome tapping at 240 beats a minute. That means 4 beats or dashes per second. You need 3 minutes and 20 seconds of utter button mashing perfection to claim this outfit. Now, this is 100% optional, but are you gonna let a game tell you that you don't have what it takes to fuck a box fan? Giving this game any comparison to Souls on this channel is going to lead to high expectations in combat. Just because it has a few things in common, I wouldn't call this game a Soulslike or a Zeldalike or a Soulsda. You know what, we're gonna go there. This is another complaint to throw out into the wild, but not every game with melee combat is suddenly a Souls clone. Dead Cells, that shit's got a roll, it's got melee combat. Dead Souls. Horizon Zero Dawn, you get a health bar and you can smack things with your beating stick. Dinobot Souls. Hollow Knight, you have a healing flask and claim your shade after dying to regain your Geo. Hollow Souls. I mean, it's in the title. Seriously, all modern games take inspiration from other games. It's like Hollywood. There's 7 movie scripts and a bajillion adaptations that work off them to create unique, original concepts. You don't see me telling you Guardians of the Galaxy is a Batman-like, do you? Because the legend Adam West, may he rest in peace, was doing superhero comedy like a boss in the 60s. Point made, potato potato, tomato tomato, Hyper Light Drifter isn't a Souls-like gato. But there are similarities in the way the combat system functions. I've already explained the way the healing works. You press the key, and within a brief heal animation, you gain back full health. Combat itself in the game is deliberately paced in a methodical way that requires you to make mastery of both melee and ranged combat. You get a dash that can be used 3 times before a brief cooldown period, a light sword to attack with, and a gun that can shoot from afar and regenerates ammo through melee attacks. This creates a spectacular system that rewards proper positioning and timing on your dodges to get in and out of melee range, getting melee attacks when close to recharge your gunshots, and then follow up with those gunshots from afar after you dodge. The upgrades make the combat immensely more fun with higher damage attacks, cool combos, and better movement capability overall. I love combat systems that are manageable enough for any player, but offer enough complexity to benefit higher skill levels. That's the system in a nutshell, but I will continue to keep in your mind that you won't get these neat upgrades without finding the secrets. Putting the combat into action against basic enemies is a pleasure, but the bosses ramp it up to get the most out of the excellent combat system. There's great variety in the bosses, from ranged attackers, mixed attackers that fire at range and come in to punish you, and those who pursue you relentlessly with their melee abilities. There's not a single boss in the game I don't enjoy fighting, and even if some of them do have minor annoyances here and there, it's nothing that detracts too much from the overall experience. And there's a dedicated boss rush mode! Why is this not a standard thing? Fighting quality bosses is one of the best things in gaming to me, and getting to run through them with your full suite of upgrades under challenging circumstances is a blast that requires little extra development. Put boss rushes in your games, man! Putting everything together, I have to say that what I love the most and what I'm most grateful for is that games like this are coming out in this day and age and exist at all. This game does enough to distinguish itself from similar titles in the genre, but is still a love letter to the games it was inspired by. Even though I may not like everything about its cryptic nature as a whole, I can enjoy the sum of its parts and respect that this game has a specific target audience that surely loved every bit of this mysterious world. I said back in my 2017 anticipated games video that I want to see developers try new things. I love getting sequels to games I love, but we still need to see adventurous game development that is willing to push the envelope. If nothing else, Hyper Light Drifter is a unique work of art that is at least worth trying out for yourself. Whether you've tried the game or not, I hope you enjoyed my take on it. Be sure to leave a like if you did, it helps me know you're enjoying the content. If you have played the game, let me know what you thought of it. And if you haven't, tell me your impressions based on the video. If you want to see me experience the games that we cover in this series firsthand, come join us on Twitch, we would love to have you. And of course, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.